Hi, good morning, first period. So remember, we don't actually have class today, but I decided that we can still have a Zoom recorded class. So we'll still have our agenda, morning meeting questions, and some reminders. And then I'm going to quickly just introduce what a problem scale looks like. You might have heard this before, and there's different ones that we are going to look at as well later on. You do have one homework assignment today. It's going to be a problem scale pre-assessment. So it's kind of not, it's just kind of just seeing what you might know just based on what we've talked about today. Okay. So our learning targets is I can identify when I have a problem and I can identify how I'm feeling about that problem. We don't need to go over Zoom agreements today since we don't actually have Zoom class. But we do have a morning meeting question that you can enter in your answer through the Ed Puzzle. Do you think that we should still have snow days this year, even though we're online? I want to know your answers, so make sure you type that in. Today is Thursday, the 21st. And then we're going to go over that in just a little bit tomorrow, what our schedule might look like. And then next week, we'll look more into what the last day of semester means, what second semester might look like for you, and then our schedule for the rest of the week as well. Okay. So for this week, today, like I said, no first period class today. You do have second and third period classes, and you do have one short assignment on the problem scale. You'll find that on Schoology. And then tomorrow, again, no first period class. I have another doctor's appointment, but you do have second and third period classes, and you'll have another short assignment with a Google Slides video through Edpuzzle and a check-in Google form since we haven't done one of those in a while. And then for next week, um, Monday, we'll see you again on Monday, regular week with classes, except no school for you next Friday. And then if you have any materials like textbooks or other books that you've borrowed from school, we have some material drop off days on Tuesday and on Wednesday. They're both at different times. So that's an opportunity for you to either you can walk over to school and just drop them off, or if somebody needs to drive you over there, there's different times for you that hopefully it works for you. We just need to get these materials dropped off to school so then our librarian, Miss Jackson, can make sure that those textbooks or other books can get checked back out to students for second semester. And then Thursday, that is the last day of semester one. So then that means that that's also the last day to turn in any missing assignments. If you have a lot of missing assignments, make sure that you're working hard after school to get those done and that you're going to those Wednesday Eagles Landing intervention times to get some help from your teachers. But yeah, last day to turn in any work is also the last day of the semester. Some clubs for today, Thursday, you have drawing club with Mr. Hamper at 1 o'clock, and then La Chispa with Mr. Lakey at 1:30, and then newspaper club with Mr. Heckler and Miss Edwards also at 1:30. And you all know that you can just type in that code on Schoology and join the group page, not the class page. Also on Thursday, we have homework club with any of our counselors from 2 to 3 o'clock. And then you can find the Zoom link in Schoology. It's at the bottom of our page, and the link is included within that page. Again, it's just a time, it's totally voluntary. You don't have to stay the whole time. But they're there to help you if you have any questions. If you just need a space and a quiet time to work, that's there for you. So take advantage of that, especially if you have a lot of missing assignments. And our character day for this week, we've only been able to talk about it one day on Tuesday when we introduced it. But we talked about how, if a parent or a friend or a sibling is kind of complaining about having to do something, maybe like a specific chore, like picking up a room or unloading the dishwasher or folding the laundry, say, hey, I can do that, and just offer up yourself. We talked about kind of giving service and being helpful to other people. You can just do it with them or you can do it for them. It's up to you, but Yeah, just kind of being helpful and being there for that person. If it's just a really small task, again, remember that doesn't include illegal activities or homework. We talked about that on Tuesday, but try that out. We'll check in again on Friday and then again talk about it on Monday when we see you all next week. So don't forget that challenge, that character dare, that you can still work on that. It's something that I think is pretty accessible to everybody. All right, so here's our problem scale. We're going to look at a different one next week that goes from 0 all the way up to 5. This one looks like a thermometer, and I like how it's kind of broken up into 3 different chunks. We'll see this top one right here are kind of larger problems, and we'll have medium problems, and then we'll have small problems. And we'll talk about what types of emotions we have when we're feeling or having a certain problem and we're stuck in this situation, and what kinds of behaviors do we do. What are we going to do? What are we going to say in those situations? And how are we feeling? Especially those emotions are important. So we'll first look at this top section where it says emergency. So here, you're feeling really upset and nervous and anxious, and you're pretty much freaked out. This is an emergency type of situation. This is a really big problem. You might be screaming, there might be some yelling, and you've definitely flipped your lid. This is where all downstairs brain is working. You're not a flexible thinker. We can't really make practical decisions or think about our choices because this is an emergency, right? This is maybe like fight, flight, or freeze, and you just can't think of any more expected choices. And you might not even accept help from somebody if they're trying to help you, but maybe your brain's not able to process that. And then the next thing, we have some medium sized problems. This is where you're feeling depressed, nervous, worried, or sad. And it's a problem. You know, it's a medium sized problem. It's not as big as an emergency where we might need to call 911 or make sure that somebody is there to help us. But we're going to have an upset face. People can probably clearly tell that you're upset or sad. Your body might feel a little tense. You might be using some unhappy words or maybe even some unkind words. And this is kind of where our downstairs brain and our upstairs brain, they're kind of struggling to work together. Maybe you're having a hard time being a flexible thinker and you're kind of having a hard time thinking of some choices, but you're able to accept some help. So maybe somebody like an adult or a trusted person can help you work through that, because you can work through that. And with medium sized problems, you might just feeling a little bit stuck, and then somebody can help you out. And then with small problems, that's kind of at the very bottom of that thermometer. You're maybe feeling a little bit nervous, but you're excited, you're calm, relaxed, and happy. You are just fine. Your face might show that. You might be smiling. You're able to think flexibly and talk to people and take in their feelings and be sensitive to their feelings. Maybe you're being friendly with other people, and this is definitely kind of that upstairs brain and downstairs brain working together, where you're also able to think about your choices and problem solve and things like that, and you're feeling great. So that's that full thermometer. Again, we looked at the very, very top. Those are the big problems, emergency problems. And then you have your medium sized problems where you're feeling worried or upset and you might need some help from a trusted person. And then at the very, very bottom, that's where you're feeling fine. Not really a problem at all. Those small problems that you could probably just fix yourself. So those were our 2 learning targets. And you'll have an assignment to go along with it. If you have any other missing assignments, please make sure to continue working on those. I know it's hard when we don't have class, but it's still your responsibility to keep catching up on those. So check your grades, check on the left side, and then look for that missing note that's kind of marked with that orange symbol. And also remember that we won't have first period class tomorrow, which is Friday, but you will also have another short assignment that's going to look just like this, where you'll be looking at a video, looking at our slides, and then click on a different assignment on Schoology to complete. Okay, so here's our assignment for today. You're going to go into our red classwork folder, just how we find every other assignment, and then you will find the problem scale, that thermometer. It's a pre-assessment. So it's okay if you don't know all the answers, this is just kind of seeing what you heard today in a really, really quick lesson. All right, have a great weekend, and we'll see you again tomorrow through a recorded presentation.